today we're gonna play with interfaces. So we are doing some refactoring right now, and so what first thing I want to show is that we want to change CRTP interface with C++ 20 concept. So let's check how to do this. I usually try to set up quite fresh links, so maybe like a year old maximum. So and so I'm not sure if it, yeah. So let's dive right into our code. So we have interface, session interface, because we are doing kind of we have authorized session, not authorized session. We need something like interface. And first I wanna check that we have C++20 standard enabled. I think it is set up like common.pre, not this. Okay, so just probably need C++ readme. I tried to find the project file which determines the, yes, it looks like we have already this thing. We have already specified C++2A. I'm not sure that this 2A is exact C++20 in QMake. Let's check this out. So let's try to Google this QMake, specify QMake specify ++20, and one, 2A. So I'm here. We can find the first link shows that it's like 2A. C++. Okay, let's check already. Check also the past year only. Questions, probably it's quite fresh. It is all about long static analysis, the GC strictly libc DC, header source, okay, built-in source location, so built-in source location. What was not good that QMake doesn't have this documentation like links here. CMake Yes, but we have QMake project options yet. So some guy has a problem. Okay, so probably we are using now like Qt version is 5.15, and that's why we need to use 2a. And okay. Anyway, yes, I need to find all the places where this is specified, this version. Lib template to. So that looks okay. So we have kind of libraries also having this C++20 and also main application. That's good. Okay, so let's go back to the session interface. We want to move it from CRTP to the concept, and also I think we need, okay, just go, let's try to create a concept class session interface. Okay, I will just comment out this stuff, and I wanted to check the thing of how Qt C++ concept check that class has Qt signal. I think the signals and slots are just usual normal functions actually, and passing stuff and introduction. I don't think that there is any results about this concept thing, but let's make it concept. Cool. You know, I'm not really. I didn't get used to this concept thing. It's new for me, so we probably will have some experimenting. And we okay. So G. So we'll use requires to determine compile time this requirements for the session interface object, and I don't really think that I don't remember that how to do this. Let's find out. So we just need to specify all the methods which the class which satisfies this interface must have, And how can we do this? And let's check some CFTP example. And it has okay, not CFTP example, but this concept example. I want to find out how to define the concept. Okay, so the syntax is like this. So we need to have this requires thing and which accept this object of type G. Yeah, actually, you know, according to the documentation of C++, you can write this concept like many different, I don't know, syntax. I'm not really yet familiar with these syntaxes, so let's just use this, which works, which must work. And so okay, let's go to the requires. Let's copy and paste this. But we need to okay, we'll just session just oh no session so I'm not really sure that we need to have this curly braces. So I know that we need that session because session is limited in time. So the session has a start and stop. Start and stop. And start and finish behavior. Start, and we want to have session stop. Not session finish behavior. And I also want to session have these signals like session started, and so it will be signals. I assume so. Session finished. So, and we will need to create this signal. So I don't have highlighting for this concept. I don't know why. And requires also not highlighted. I hope it will be fixed somehow. And the first thing I want to do is okay. First thing I want to have is this interface, and so let's go to the direct session class and try to check that this thing of session is actually the kind of section with which session which is creating for purchasing the thing of service. The session signal interface. That's all I want. So, and I want to. I'm not sure that is it possible to write like something like this. static assert. So we want to have session inter. Okay, it's called common session interface called purchase session, and probably I have to place this in the class scope. Okay, so yeah, and this is exactly why how the how this concept thing works. So this is kind of predicate, like session interface, which is which can result in true or false at compile time. So we pass it here the type, and it will just it says that it's just false. Static assertion failed. So even before compile time. And I think this is cool. But what if we write something like this? Start. Oh, it's private. Let's make it public. So what's wrong with how it works? And okay, now it sees the start, but don't see the finish. Let's check this finish. Okay, now it was finished. What's okay? Would be invalid to few arguments from function calls. So that's really interesting. So this is really interesting because we have here like type one argument, and we need to make it to work with any number of and any types of arguments. Session finish would be invalid to few math function call. Too few arguments. That's interesting question. Why is it too few arguments? Too few arguments to function call. Status was not specified. Okay, just let's delete it temporarily. Okay, just make it one. Okay, let's go to this session interface and see what can be wrong. So I don't understand why it blames. So we have just session finish thing. We don't specify it. I like arguments or something. What I want to do is to create this thing called purchase session right inside purchase controller. So we will instantiate and see the errors. And so we need controller, acquiring controller. And we will use just in the constructor. Include not common, but general common sessions. Wait a second. I don't really remember that. Which is the path of this Tinkerfisher session is. Probably it's even in the same. Okay, it's in Tinkerf SDK. Acquiring services. How to get this Tinkerf SDK? Let's see the include path for this Tinkerf SDK, and this is in the backend application specific Tinkerf SDK. Okay, so it is here. Tinkerf SDK session. Okay, it's even easier than I thought. We just saw how it is included in it is included in other file. The code model couldn't person people, which might lead incorrect code completion. Right. So and I like this C++ thing that it's always structured. You always can structure your code as you want. So what we want to do is to create session. And we want to create session, and how do we create session is just making Tinkerf session. Purchase session. And maybe I'm wrong with the Tinkerf session. So it doesn't have namespace section. Oh, okay, it's right here, session. So let's try to do this. We'll just launch the rebuild and see how it will work. And I hope my laptop were more performant. So building speed is not instant actually. I would like to really have something like multi-core processor, something like Ryzen 6 98X, so I don't remember the exact identifier, but this is very performant processor, like 8 cores, 8 CPU cores. By the way, maybe more. It's like 16 threads. Well, 16 threads because it has 8 CPU cores and 16 threads. What does it mean? Probably it's the technology, something like hyper-threading. I don't have idea. And I like that they write that they support this Ubuntu. This is cool because I use Ubuntu. And so what else? AMD Ryzen 9. Okay, it's Ryzen 9 actually. It must be performant. I hope so. It must be. So now my laptop has kind of maybe twice less build speed, I assume so. Let's go. So what's about our build? Okay, it's failed. Static assertion failed. That's perfect actually, but it failed because it has value false. And just let me know why does it fail. What about the so much promoted feature of the concepts to explain what's wrong? And let's see compile output. Okay, it's all wrong. So that's the exact problem we should show to us, because we need to have finished signal, and it doesn't have this. It's finished without anything. Just finish. I think it will work like that now, but still, like, I need to find out how to make this session interface to work with any number of arguments here. How to do this, guys? Concept requires function with any number of arguments. How to specify that the function might have any number of arguments? Okay, so we just maybe you can to accept periodic template, something like this here, but so we need probably also specification of like second name, like whatever. What's the name when you have many arguments in template? Periodic template C++. So periodic template C++. And so, and you know, the syntax is quite complicated. You have to really use to do this. And this is how you use this, like, types, probably. What if I write something like this, like types in a function? Let's try. And I don't really understand this. I don't really like that I have to write like finished types, and here I can specify finished types, and doesn't refer any value. That's interesting. So it doesn't refer to a value. Of course, it doesn't refer to a value. And this is kind of this is the thing I don't know how to do this, because I need to pass. I don't know which arguments will be in this finish function. I need some magic with templates. So this finished types, we always can go to the Google to find the information. Just let's see, C++ 20 requires function with types. I don't really know how to Google it. It's so modern thing. I don't think that many people are use this concept thing. Use specifies a constant expression on template parameters that evaluate a requirement. So this evaluate a requirement. It's shaded constraint. And this thing with constraints also very interesting. I really like to finish this to like make it work. I don't really know. And let's try to figure out this concept that requires member function with, probably I found something. So let's see. I usually don't read the question itself. C++ concept that requires a member function with output iterator as parameter. That's interesting. Requires. Okay, so we have requires, which accepts also this. Probably that's my problem, because I didn't specify this requires. It requires on the session, but it didn't require this finished types. Probably this is what I want to pass here. And so should I like args, finished args, types, args. So now it shows something better. So actually the think with variadic template is quite good, but okay, so we need also this args here. Finish args. So it's building right now, but I also want to make it work with any number of arguments here. Let's rebuild, and I will stand up and do some exercise when I'm building. So it already showed that static assert failed. I didn't make my exercise, so my back feels a little, so it's sticked to the chair. So I still want to stand up and do some exercising. Hands up. So good. That's very good that you don't see me on webcam. I can do some weird movements. Oh yeah, that's so pleasurable. And exercising, so good. Guys, if you see this and you didn't do exercise today, just stand up and try to stretch your legs and hands. And I don't know how to say that. How can you say it, the name of the legs and hands? So probably it's kind of end parts of the body. I will try to translate it because I'm really interested in the translation of some words. I will translate from Russian because it's my native language. Translate limb. So stretch limbs. Stretch out. Can I say stretch out limbs? Still, okay, let's go back to programming. So we have got static assertion still failed. So probably it failed because we don't have here anything finished. Okay, it was something. Okay, let's go to the finished arcs. So it blames on finished arcs. Finished arcs. So let's see the interface. Still we have this in status here. Let's go back to the Google stuff and see what was this guy doing. This is a common problem of asking wrong question of concept where you're trying to use them like you would a base class interface. With base classes, you're declaring the exact specific functions that the derived classes are to implement. You want the user to implement exactly the function you say they must. Which concepts you approach the issue from the other direction? What usage are you trying to create? At some point in your code, you have some object, some iterator and a size, and you're going to take that object, call a function by passing it the iterator and the size, and you expect a response back on the certain type, and this process has some meaning. This Nicol Bolas, I think this is a smart guy. These guys are who answer the questions. It looks like they know everything. That's quite cool. So suppose these guys who answer Stack Overflow also do some investigation before writing. Then that's your concept. It's concept that is based on at least two parameters: the type of the object and the iterator type. So that's what you should create. If you have bulk readable constraint, you must have some interface constraint on it. An interface that's going to call read and the interface must have an iterator. So here are the options. The interface is given an iterator tab, an iterator type, directly or indirectly by the user. And that's like, if that's the case, then you just use the type in the functions bulk readable constraint in the iterator tab is based on a complex set of operations on parameters. Then you have to do some computations to compute the iterator type. The iterator is statically determined, and then just use the non-iterator type in the constraint. And the point being that at the point where you're going to try to call read, you know what the iterator type is, and therefore, so basically, I don't think I need so complicated thing. And but I want to just probably I just pass parameters in the very addictive place, not really correctly. Yet it seems that the interface is good. So let's try to make finished signal. Make finished signal and finish function method is to accept the status, and also here like status. And so let's go check if it's still static assertion failed. Why does it fail? Come on, tell me. Too few arguments to function call. Single argument status wasn't specified. So you mean, what do you mean? And I can say what do you mean? Wow, you can write concepts diagnostic depth for more details. That's awesome, actually. So I'm interested how to write this. How to pass it to GCC. You make compiler arguments. Yeah, I think this. You make exit flags. But I don't really want you to add something. I think this message doesn't make me happy. So of course let's try to do this. So we need to write it in the everywhere. Can I see flags? No, I want other flags. I want other flag. I want this flag. So will it make me happy? Let's see what does this variable do. I really hope that it will show the problem. And let's go back to see that. More requires options. So C++ constraint requires and C++ periodic number argument of function. With C++ 20, wow, it's like 3 years ago, come on. I think it's even before the C++ 20 was released. With C++ 20 and concepts around the corner, I wonder if it's possible to solve concepts. The concept initializable checks if the type means a void init. So now let's assume there is another type. Like, okay, this question is exactly what we need to have. Now it's yes, okay. There is a type trait, is a member function pointer. But if you want that the return type is what too, then you can do both at the same time. Okay, so I think it will work. But it's ugly actually. Auto, really? Does it work? Auto? Will auto like save my life? Come on, let's try this. Maybe auto will be really kind of cool and static. No matching to call. Finish. And no machine. No machine call. Not. Okay, come on, just go and make the interface more smart. And we make it smart with auto. I love this auto in the so auto is good for for generic programming. I think so. Oh no, it doesn't work. Come on. This guys cannot be wrong. Oh no, it's another syntax. Struct but in auto. Yeah, let's try to see this. Is member function pointer. And here the specializations for his member function pointer. His member function pointer v is undefined. Okay, let's see how it works. Um, MPTR returns void. So I'm questioning myself about this args because this seems to have a problem with this args. This ask that is member function pointer Number function pointer. But how does it can it check if it has like variadic number of arguments? You can see this. Where does it use Ubego type? Wait. Oh, okay. So Ubego type probably just is substituted to type of this function. I'm not sure. Let's try to understand this more better. Checks the better. T is non-static member function pointer provides the member constant value which is equal to true. Otherwise, value is equal to false. The behavior okay, so tap to check and is member function pointer v. Is member function pointer. There is a type trait for that, but if you want that the return type is void too, then open what does mean this deco type here and also here? What does it mean? That's very interesting. Let's understand what is this mean. Deco type of member function. So we mean like what it means the type what that this function return, but why is this type is asked here? Since f here referring to the member function, the deductive type is a. Okay, so okay, we need to deduce the full type. Okay. And the interesting question, what's ampersand means like C++, the function return type. I mean like pointer. It's not pointer actually. I already googled about this. You're kind of taking a pointer from the function prototype. It's wrong. Relevant syntax of function prototype. So I want to remember this. What does this ampersand mean? And why it says that without this, the compiler assuming that you're trying to call the function without providing arguments to. Continue signal slot syntax. I knew this from this Qt 5 new syntax because you can see that it's used here, and so it doesn't name this document doesn't name what this technique is named, how this technique is named. What does mean function? And function declaration. No. Function pointer. Without the ampersand, the compiler assuming that you are trying to call the function without providing arguments to it. So I believe it's something like taking the function pointer. Let's check. This C++ thing is really complicated sometimes. C++ function prototype. So I think I already have seen. You always can take the function pointer, actually, it's not a problem. C++ take function pointer from member function. This is what I mean. Read this for detail. Function pointer. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Like you're taking kind of pointer of this member method, member function, and you return the pointer. You can see this pointer to this function. Okay, probably we are done with understanding this thing. Let's go back to this is member function point, and is member function pointer. But I need not only member function pointer, I need only also like check which arguments is it supposed to have. Probably need another concept, something like so let's continue. And so and there is a tab phrase for its number, but you can always check it that this your function is okay, so you cannot check the, but you can check the depot type function from the in the requires thing. Okay, let's try to do this. std is member. I hope it works because I'm really bad at this, and we need to include some time traits, include type traits, entity. Okay, it's probably must now work. So, and we need to, there is a function pointer of session default type session finish big point. Probably I'm do something. Finish. Let's see what's wrong with my syntax. Default type. Okay. And the same thing with finished. Yes. Let's try this. So we don't check the return type. So in this case, I probably need to also we need to make some more templates typing and check this stuff in you if you have like some general, some specific cases. So the building is actually going. I think you can improve your C++ when watching the stream. So I try to explain my thoughts when streaming. So you're probably gonna educate yourself. But guys, you have to learn every time. You know, it's already C++ 20, and I think it has very like great concepts like this about like compile time, meta programming. You don't need to use runtime interfaces from the like virtual functions and all this stuff, which is implying an overhead to the application. You always must tend to use compile time techniques to make some static polymorphism. This is kind of good thing about C++. With performance, you always can get the highest performance with C++. So did it compile actually? Not yet. So what we can read. So I talked about upgrading my hardware. Like I really want to have this like Ryzen 9 processor in my like laptop with this processor. I think it's really powerful. Like laptop processors benchmarking. And I don't really need GPU. Like I don't like games. So Ryzen 9. And price performance. So you can see that kind of this is very good actually. Like Ryzen 9s and Intel i9 are very good processors. I don't really know how much is Ryzen 9 here. But Intel is really like high performance processor. But it's kind of pricey. Yeah, like you can buy like maybe kind of maybe low performance laptop, the whole laptop for this amount, for this much. So let's go and check the build. Really guys, it's completed. Congratulations. So we figured out that if we need to specify that function, specify just any number of arguments. Of the member function, you can always use this. So this is really cool. We now try to, I will just remove this, I will just remove the commented code because it's not needed really. But another thing which is interesting, how can I make this interface with signals, because you know it now takes only one. It now takes only one argument. Probably not very general thing. Probably I need just really one argument. Maybe Q variant was good. The variant text is really, it is good, like, I don't know, yeah, let's find out, like, try to take this Q variant, is it compile time? I think it's compile time. You can make some type information from compile time. Compile time. So I don't know if it's possible to find covariant. Actually, I know that C++ 20 has context for variant. So it works actually. That's good. So and about signals and slots, maybe I do overcomplication, maybe not, I'm not sure, but anyway. So I will try to add some comments, and session interface here. Interface shows, I don't know, like it just describes semantic over session stereotype. Session stereotype is kind of object, kind of idea of objects which start and end its operations. So it is doing some job, some work, and finish it like in Mortal Kombat. And so I think now I will pause the streaming, and thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for having me. Can I say like this? For sharing your attention my coding, and I hope it was useful. You can, if you're interested, you can join the Telegram chat. So, and also feel free to try to send an email if you want to join our team. We are extending our team of developers and our other talents in our international startup. So we are doing the platform for quests in real life. This is really impressive and innovative project. So feel free, you're very welcome to write the email and join the chat. We will appreciate your ideas, your attention. Thank you very much, guys.